Happy the end of day 3, Draft Crafters. Did you just spurt all over the computer again?
It went in the crack.
At least it's your computer this time. Last time it was mine.
It went in the crack.
Good
I don't
work.
even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Just where
I've
the
seen
screen
worse.
folds, you know?
Yeah, I've seen worse. It still isn't great. But it's Dan, it's JP, and it is almost midnight on Saturday, April 25th. We are at the end of the NFL draft. Now, this is the end of day 3. This is kind of instant-ish reaction. I say ish because we were playing some euchre with our hosts right now. As again, we're in Brad and Paige's garage, and again, Paige still learning the game of euchre. For those of you who aren't from the Midwest, euchre is a card game we'll teach you another time.
Oh, we're
A lot of nuances. Yeah, the same thing we've been
All right.
doing every time.
all right.
Still on.
I didn't know.
But what we're going to do right now, look, we're not going to do full-on recaps of all the draft for every team. We're not doing that right now. This is instant reaction. I want you to look at every team's day 3, and we're going to go through all the teams. But give me your favorite pick and or something else that stands out. We're going to do quick little highlights on each team because every team I think had at least one pick you liked.
I'm gonna rip the picks and talk.
Yeah, sure. Rip the picks for your team. And
All
we're going
right,
to talk
all
about
right.
them, and I'll chip in.
So you're doing your
team.
teams. I'm doing my teams.
Yep, so
Yeah?
why don't you start
We're
off?
doing this live. We're making it up as we
Starting up in the AFC
Sa-
North like we like to.
go. The same order. We're going with the Bengals here. Okay, so 4th round they got Connor Lew and they got Colby Young.
Mm-hmm.
6th round they got some guy named Brian Parker the second. Who's that?
He's a
Have you ever
dude.
heard of him?
He's a
Did
G.
you have him ranked?
He's an uppercase G.
7th round they got Jack Andrews. Also in the 7th round they got Landon Robinson.
So, did they get Cyrus Allen in the 5th, or do I have that set up wrong? Because that's always a possibility for my notes.
Maybe I don't have the 5th round checked.
Okay.
You know what?
Well, no, you got to remember, Cyrus Allen was a guy I had to put in because I didn't actually have him. He's one of like the dozen that I didn't actually have in my notes.
I guess I gotta select
And
like
I
all
could have had
teams
him
quick
wrong.
because it. Let's see.
Well, that's part of the fun.
Okay, let me filter
We're
the
one
rounds.
pick in, and
So
it's
Blake's
already
one.
we're
Well, I
already
gotta
off
uncheck the
rails.
rounds.
We're already off the rails after one pick. I love that.
And let me go to the. Yeah, well, hey, this is how we do this thing, you know?
It's actually pretty accurate, all things considered. It's
I don't
entertaining.
I don't have that. I just
Okay.
have the 2 4s, the 6, and then the 2 7s.
Well, go for it. I'm going to try to figure out what in the world I screwed up on mine, which is not out of the ordinary.
Well, how do you know I didn't screw it up?
Go ahead and keep talking while I figure this out.
All right. Well, here's what I'll say. Back when people were talking about Connor Lew as the top center and up there with one of the top interior linemen, I was completely out on that. I love it here. Love it here at the 4th. You know what I mean? Colby Young, did not have him. I had him a UDFA. Didn't care too much for that pick. Brian Parker, the second. Tell you that was
I
your
love
guy.
it.
You loved it. But instead of just talking about the player, Andrews, I liked him too. Landon Robinson, I wasn't a huge fan. Loved him where they got him, though. So I guess here's what I'll say. For day 3 for the Bengals, Colby Young was an F, where
Yeah.
they took him
Very much so.
in the 4th. But Connor Lew in the 4th and Brian Parker the 2nd, who I don't like and you love, but where they got him in the 6th, I gave both those
Right.
an A. They were 27 positive, 57 positive, respectively. I had Andrews and Landon Robinson both like 2 full rounds. Well, Andrews, I had a plus like 120. So like all things considered, and I'm not putting in needs
Right.
with this or anything. Outside of Colby
Yeah.
Young, they drafted very well.
Dude, I
give
loved
them
Robinson and
I give
Parker.
them an A for what they did today.
Sure. I love Robinson.
It's
and Parker.
risky.
Yeah.
It's all very risky, but this is day 3.
Yeah.
We're not talking day 1 or
is when
day
you take
2.
risks.
So I'm going to just get that out of the way so I don't say that for every team.
Sure.
Like, if I say I like what you did and you took risky players, that's fine.
Right.
It might not work at all, but I like the shots that you're taking.
Shoot your shots.
Yeah.
This is
So
when you shoot your
that,
shots.
That goes for every
Yeah.
team I'm talking about.
Real quick, by the way,
And I should
Cyrus.
use-
Cyrus for some reason was on Kansas City. I have no idea how I had Cincinnati picked. Might happen
Just a
again.
Dan special.
Dan special. There's
All
gonna be a
right.
few of those as we go through this. All right. So Cleveland.
So
right?
we weren't off the rails. You were off the rails.
I took us and just jumped fling, right off the rails,
Okay.
man.
Glad
Didn't
we're
take
on
long.
track.
All right. So Cleveland.
now.
I might have liked some of this if they did. When you look at the picks that they made, though, when you look at the rounds, they had 3 5ths, a 6th, and a 7th. They took Parker Brailsford, Justin Jefferson, Joe Royer in the 5th, Taylon Green in the 6th, Ryan Carson in the or Carson Ryan. Sorry, not Ryan Carson. It looks like his name should be Ryan Carson. Point is, they took 5 guys, and none of them did I really like. I gave Taylon Green an A purely because it was in the 6th round, and he's an athletic quarterback that maybe you can do something with. But also, he's on Cleveland, where quarterbacks go to die. So career, not human. But that's my point. The entirety, there's no pick that I liked.
Dark.
There's no pick that I like. Taylor Green is the pick that I'm the most okay with.
Not what you want to hear.
No. I think they made some good picks earlier, and we'll talk about that when we do the whole overview. But they did not make a good pick on day 3. They made an okay pick with Taylor Green because shoot your shot for a guy who's super athletic and could do something on a team that doesn't have a good quarterback. But Brailsford, that was an overdraft by like 96 spots for me. Justin Jefferson was not the Justin Jefferson I usually think about, right?
Yeah.
And so, no.
But a lot of people like the potential of him, but
Maybe. But again, I still have him way down the list, personally. Joe Royer is probably the pick that seems like it has the most potential for something. It was still a huge overdraft for me. Is there anything redeemable about Cleveland's draft? Help me out here.
let me flip to Cleveland. I should be looking at. I just went to Pittsburgh. I was just ready to. So
Well,
I won't
you
do
forgot
that.
how crazy Cleveland's draft was. Because again, like the only positive value I saw was Taylor Green.
Well, their picks respectively: Brailsford, I gave an F; Justin Jefferson a D; Royer an F; and Taylor Green a C plus. So no, I did not like. But what I will say is, if I had to pick one, I am mildly interested in Royer.
Sure.
Just I don't know. I had a UDFA on him. That's why.
But again,
But I didn't know that 73 tight ends were going to be drafted
also
either.
true. Yeah, that's going to
That's
throw
an
off the numbers.
exaggeration, but not by much.
That's going
I
to
don't
throw off
think.
the numbers. So yeah, Cleveland, not a good run. Let's
Nope.
go to Pittsburgh.
All right, let me flip it back. You're gonna have to wait for me to do my my filters now.
Dude, I like a
Pitt-
few things that Pittsburgh did. Go ahead.
Pittsburgh, here we go. 5th round. They didn't have a 4th round.
Yeah, 4th.
Huh?
Wait, Caden Witchin, wasn't that a 4th or is that a 5th?
Oh, I have to scroll down.
Ah,
Yeah, so
There you
now
go.
I'm off the rails.
Ha.
Yeah, Caden Wetchin, special teamer here. I actually
In the
like
4th.
him a ton as a special teamer.
Not in the 4th.
Despite me having a UDFA grade on him, it's just like, hey, this is a priority call when the draft's over. Blah blah blah. Nope, they took him in the 4th.
Bit enthusiastic.
So while I like the player, F, he'll contribute. He will make an impact. It's not 4th round impact, in my opinion. Riley Nowakowski, 5th.
another blocking tight end.
Yep.
Every team, I think, took a tight end.
I think
we'll
every
talk about
team
them as
took
we
a
go today.
That was a negative 88. That was
Yeah, it wasn't
an F.
great.
Gabe Ronio.
Rubio.
Oh, dude, that's a reach of over a full round too.
Oh, yeah, at least.
47.
I have 48,
That's an
so
F.
yeah.
Now you know what?
And that's
At least they threw some decent darts. Ish. Come
Ish.
the 7th round.
There's two that I
Robert
like there.
Spears Jennings.
That's the one that I
7th round. I got a positive 23.
Yep.
That's an A. And then Eli Heinrich, I gave that that's a positive 29, and that's mostly just because I like fullbacks.
Well,
And
Heidenreich
he's
is
not
a guy.
even really a fullback.
He's not really a fullback, but he's a gamer, and he will make that team better. He's going to be a fun competitor for them to have out
He's a
there.
special teamer, yeah. But,
Sure.
Well, long story short, didn't like Pittsburgh either.
We're 0 for 3 so far, I think. Cincinnati right now,
Cincy did
They
way
were-
better than the last two.
they were middling. But middling is the best we're going to have right now. And now we're going to flip over to Baltimore, and this is where we get to change things up a
oh,
bit.
jeez, do we?
The Baltimore Ravens
We have
had...
2 of your guys.
Honestly, they had...
3 of your guys.
Dude, I liked most of this, right? All right, so in the 4th, they took Matthew Hibner. Didn't really like that one. But then they took Elijah Surratt. They took Chandler Rivers and Adam Randall in the 5th, along with Josh Cuevas in the 5th. And then they got Rayshon Benny and Evan Bernstein in the 7th. So basically, the only pick I didn't like was Hibner. And then I wasn't really a huge fan of Cuevas. Basically, the
I
two
wasn't
tight
a
ends,
huge
not a huge
fan.
fan.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: I'm not a huge fan of Cuevas either, but he still basically came in even for value.
Well,
Really,
he was down on the value for me, but when you look at the other 5 guys they took, and again, they had 7 picks on day 3. All the other 5 were all great value for where I had them, and even beyond that, because again, Elijah Surratt, love him. Chandler Rivers, I know he's small, love him. Adam Randall, I mean, there is no better running back comp this year for Baltimore to have like a Derrick Henry Jr. than Adam Randall, because he's basically a little bit smaller and probably better at catching the ball. Maybe he's not quite as physical as Derrick Henry.
all
because no
things
one is.
considered, Cincy and Baltimore won this division.
You got King Henry and Prince Randall. Let's go. Baltimore had
Right.
the best one, in my
Pick the
opinion.
2 winners, 2 losers each division.
Look,
It's from
Baltimore-
just day 3. Baltimore and Cincy
I go
were the 2 winners.
Baltimore, Cincy.
Oh no,
and
no,
then
just
make
you
your
ain't
pick.
got to rank them. We'll do that when we do the full thing.
Okay, yeah,
Because they were
Baltimore
the
and Cincy
best
are the
2 of the
Yeah,
4.
if you're gonna, so yeah, if we go 4, there'll be 2 up, 2 down. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 2 up were definitely those 2. Let's go south.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start in Tennessee, as I always do.
Sure.
Dude, Fernando Carmona. I can't. I despise this pick. Not because I had a UDFA, so it was a reach of triple digits, and it's an F grade for me. For now, I haven't finalized my grades.
Sure.
But just because of, like, Bo Stevens.
There were better guys there.
Was on the board. There were a lot. Micah Morris was on the board. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
There were other interior linemen.
They did this a few different times, by the way, where they took a guy that you liked someone better than him on the board a couple different times.
Then they went Nicholas Singleton in the fifth as well. That was basically an even value. Fine with that.
But there were other guys you would have taken ahead of Singleton.
Totally agree. Yeah. But I was fine. Whatever.
Sure.
Then you go to the 2 6th-round picks, Jackie Marshall and Pat Coogan. Marshall is whatever. Coogan, huge value. That was a triple-digit value,
right?
To me, that's like an S pick,
right?
Just rough off the top of my head. And then Jaron Kanak, he was one of the one. So here's a joke. I had 5 people drafted that I did not have in my board out of the 257 picks.
I had like 15, so you win.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you win.
You might even have more than 15. You just stopped counting.
No, right around 15.
I'm kidding. It's probably about 15.
Yeah, it was right around 15.
But yeah, so he was. That was just. It is what it is. It's just one of the 7,000 tight ends drafted. But the winner here didn't mind Singleton. Coogan loved it.
Tell me, do you believe that Pat Coogan or Austin Schlottman will be starting at center for the Titans when the season rolls around?
Schlottman will start.
Dude, I think Coogan could take it.
Coogan will take it at some point.
I think Coogan can take it before then. And that's just my point.
He's a 6th-round pick, Dan. So you and I like him a ton and believe in him, but
and other people are silly.
He's going to have to earn it hard.
Other people are
silly.
The
hard way.
Right. Indianapolis Colts, now, with their season, their offseason, rather, they were having to make hay on day 2 and 3 because they didn't have that first-round pick. So for them, they had 2 4ths, a 6, 2 7s. So they grabbed Bryce Botcher. They grabbed Jalen Farmer, both of those in 4th round. Then they also grabbed Caden Curry in the 6th. They grabbed Deion Burks in the 7th, Seth McGowan in the 7th. The only pick that I wasn't ecstatic about for them.
You know what I just realized? I'm interrupting you intentionally.
I'm used to it.
I didn't have all those picks. I'm assuming they had one of the last 10 picks. I didn't go back and put the last 10 picks on the board, remember? Mm-hmm. So tell me when I get there if it impacts my teams at all.
Right. Well, yeah, Deion Burks will be the one that is at the end of 255. So hopefully you have Seth McGowan on the team there too. So McGowan was 237, so then you would have missed 20 picks. But at any rate, the point is...
Yeah, I only have the 4 picks for them.
Yeah, the only pick that I wasn't really happy about for them, Jalen Farmer was kind of a meh thing for me. He's a little he's lower than I would have had.
That was not good. I had him as he was
UDFA. He was at least a round ahead of where I would have liked to see him even in the conversation.
I had Farmer and Gums both as UDFAs, but they were also guys that just barely missed it. I'm super intrigued, but
when you look at the rest of them though, Caden Curry, Bryce Botcher, Deion Burks, Seth McGowan, all of those guys are great.
Yeah.
Like value and also
I'm not
quality.
Huge on Seth, but
where you got
Botcher and Curry and Burks,
getting McGowan in the 7th, sure.
Yeah.
I'll let him go and hammer and spell Taylor for a little while. So with what they had to work with this year, I think the Colts did a great job.
Jacksonville. So let me know if there's anybody I'm missing.
Roller coaster. Let's go,
dude. 3 of their. So how many picks do they have? I have 5.
6. So did you get Parker Hughes at 240?
No, because he's towards the end.
Yep.
So I didn't get Parker Hughes, but again, not a great one. But even Wesley Williams, and I'm not doing this in order. C.J. Williams and Zach Durfree, the guy that one of the 5 that I had added to my board.
I want him to work out just so I can say Durfree all the time. It just sounds like Durf to me.
All UDFAs. Josh Cameron, I did have a 7th round grade on. They took him in the 6th. Not awful, but you get it. So basically, this is Tanner Koziel, who I was higher on, and you're higher on than most everybody else.
But you, so obviously I love that.
I had him at 132 range.
Sure,
but not great, man.
No,
it was not great.
No, they again, that's the only pick there that I can sit back and say you helped yourselves out. And this is a Jacksonville team that is poised for a playoff run again this year. But they're going to have to do it off the strengths of the first couple of days. There's no doubt about that. Houston, another team that has aspirations, right? And they were another one that was a mixed bag. When you look at the picks that they had, 4th round, they took Wade Woodaz and Kamari Ramsey, obviously like Ramsey. But then you look at the 6th, Lewis Bond, They also had Fabici and
Yeah, I was
Nueyu
gonna
in the
say,
fourth. Yeah, Lewis Bond in the sixth.
Love
and then,
Lewis Bond pick.
and then Aiden
And
Fisher in the seventh.
he was one of your 15. How did you not? I've talked about Lewis Bond on the show so many times, and you've talked about him with me. How is he not on your board? Did you delete
He's
him
on my
accident?
board. He's not where I would have taken him.
Oh,
That's my point.
I thought you said you had to add him.
No, Aiden Fisher was awesome. Right, loved that pick.
Where's that
for
one?
where he was? He was 243.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he was right towards the end. Loved that pick, and I loved Kamari Ramsey because I like Ramsey more than you do. But those two,
I was smoking
great,
a pork butt, so I
Yeah,
missed. I
which
don't have
is-
the last 15 picks added yet,
which is by far the priority.
which turned out very well.
Beautiful. Absolutely love that. But yeah, so when you look at what Houston did, they got better at linebacker, they got better at safety, and the rest of them, those guys are going to compete for roster spots. That's kind of where it's at. I don't know about Wade Woodaz and why they took him when they did. He was like a UDFA-ish guy anyway, so big miss as far as I was concerned with those guys.
The Pats going east, right?
Of course.
We're at all right.
Yeah.
Let me know if there's anybody I'm missing. Because I've only what?
No, there's just one that I don't even have. Like, I have an error. Reference does not exist for Kayron Prunty.
Oh, geez.
Seems right. We'll get to him in a
So
second.
I only got 4 picks. Is that correct?
They had 6.
6.
They had a 245 and 247. So go ahead and
Okay.
get the rest of them out of the way. And
So
then
the
I'll let
4
you know.
I have right here that I can reference quickly. I have Kayron you just said
Prunty,
Wake
yep.
Forest. He was not. He was one of my 5. So UDFA naturally, but Demetrius Crownover.
Not bad.
At this point, it was
good
actually
with
a
that.
value.
Yep. I
Of
had
quite
him
a
little
bit,
value, too.
and I wasn't super high. I had a 5th round grade on him. They got him in the 6th, and then late in the 6th ish. So it's a positive 64.
Okay, that's more than I had, but still.
What's that?
I still liked him, but it's not as much as you did, but still, it was still a positive.
Then Namdi Obizer. I don't know how to say his name.
I'm saying
but-
Obi Azor.
Obiazor. I like
Sounds
it.
like more fun.
As a UDFA guy.
Sure.
And then Baron Morton.
Well,
Sure.
backup
I had a 7th.
action.
I had a 7th round grade on him. I mean, why not?
He's a gamer.
I almost kind of like think
Right.
if there's nobody there you're pounding the table for in the 7th round,
Why not?
Like, why not take a quarterback and see
Well-
what happens? So who are the 2?
Why not take a quarterback?
That
Then
I
also,
didn't type in?
yeah, why not take a running back, Jam Miller? They grabbed him at 245, and then they grabbed Quintavious Hutchins at 247.
So and Miller was a UDFA. So Hutchins and Crownover were the main 2 that I liked here. But
Sure.
then Morton is why not?
Right. So New England, they didn't hurt themselves as much as other teams. They were all right. We didn't do that
We
for the
didn't
South.
do that for the South.
Ah. Ooh. I don't like any of them. Indy? I think Indy is on the positive.
The other teams in the AFC won?
Maybe?
I'm kidding. I don't.
Indy, maybe the Titans. Was Tennessee good enough? Because I didn't really like Houston all that much. Let me pull that back up again while we do a little circuitous thing. Oh, Houston had 2 guys I liked.
I'm checking.
I'm okay with that.
Tennessee had 3: Singleton, Marshall, Coogan.
Well,
So Tennessee, you probably went with.
Coogan's the only one that I liked out of that, though. Really liked. So
Sure, totally agree.
I would debate
Totally agree.
Jacksonville or Houston. Who do you think?
Jacksonville, absolutely not. The only
Okay,
thing
so
I liked
Houston.
was Koziel. And
So yeah. So Houston and
Tennessee.
Tennessee are on there. No, Houston and Indianapolis are on the top side. Tennessee and Jacksonville on the bottom side for that division, in my opinion.
even though Coogan was there, let me go. Hold on.
Coogan's the only one, dude. Indianapolis had a few guys I liked.
but
I liked a lot of Indianapolis.
Texans was awful.
All right, well, I'm okay if you want to put Tennessee ahead of the Texans,
Yeah,
but no
I
one's
put
going ahead of
Tennessee above
Indianapolis.
because Coogan beats everybody that Houston got to.
All right, fair. Buffalo, the Bills, man, another team that I felt like coming back to and saying, boy, I keep liking a lot of the picks that they made. There's a reason for this. I'm going to rip through them here. In the 4th round, Skylar Bell, who you loved, Caleb Elams Orr, who I loved, Jude Bowery, meh. And then 5th round, Jalen Kilgore and Zane Durant, freaking love both of those picks. 7th round, Armaj Reed Adams and Toriano Pride. The only pick that I'm not ecstatic about for them is Jude Bowery. The rest of them are all guys that I expect to make the team and contribute.
I have every single one of those in the green. They're all
Yeah, Bowery's the only one I don't have
values.
in the green.
Bowery. I have as a +6.
You liked him better than I did, yeah. Like I had him about
Only
a round and a half
based on
back.
where. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that for the entire AFC, we'll see where we go. The Buffalo had the best day today out of any team in the AFC.
It's
Maybe
gonna be
even
hard.
any team. Period.
Well, it's going to be hard to pass them. So yeah, Buffalo definitely gets that credit. What about the Fish?
Oh, I don't know. I'm on Buffalo. let me get the filter rocking.
Try not to waste too much time because it is
The
once again
Fish.
about 40 degrees and I'm out here in shorts.
Trey
and a t-shirt.
Moore, big reach. Kyle Lewis, value, even for me not liking
Yeah.
him. So a lot of people probably really love that. Taffy, value, like it there in the 5th. Why not? And then I have Kevin Coleman and Sidhu Traore and DJ Campbell. These were all negative
liked
values. So this is basically
There's
just
one
taking
more
a
pick
shot
for you.
on Lewis. Don't mind Taffy.
Right.
And then who else was drafted that
At
was when I was doing
238,
pork butt?
it was Max Llewellyn. So the
I
Iowa edge
like
that
that
you
one
like,
quite a
yeah.
bit.
So Llewellyn
it's
and
decent.
Campbell were the 2 picks I liked the best, and then Taffy and Lewis after
Yeah.
that. But again, so Miami
Bills
did well,
destroyed
but not
both
yet.
of them still
But
for
again,
New England and Miami.
right, but let's see what the Jets, I don't even know, did. So New York, the Jets, man, they had an interesting draft all the way around. They only had 4 picks on day 3, and it was
They had one I love.
it was Daryl Jackson Jr., right, that they took in the 4th round. They took Kate Klubnik in the 4th round. They took Anas Cooper in the 6th, and then they grabbed VJ Payne in the 7th. And I'm
Love
guessing that's
VJ
the pick.
Payne.
Yeah, exactly. The other ones all were kind of close to where
I
I,
think
had for
both
value.
my teams lost this division.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's the thing. Because Jackson, Klubnik, and Cooper were all within a round of where I expected them to go, so I'm okay with those picks, even if you may not. You wonder where they're going to fit into some of that. But VJ Payne is by far the steal that they got out of that group. VJ Payne's a big boy coming out there playing safety, all things considered. So yeah, I think it's Jets and Buffalo for this one.
Man, the Raiders might have be challenging Buffalo in a way because,
okay.
well, they took Jamal McCoy. We'll
True.
wait to see.
Which, yeah.
Potentially
Does he
top
have
10
any?
guy. Who knows? We have no idea. But they also followed that up. Love Hezekiah Masses. That was a super
Mm-hmm.
positive value. Mike Washington, super positive
that.
value. Those 3 are fantastic. Then you got Dalton Johnson.
Meh. Didn't really like that one.
Malik Benson had a UDFA
I was okay with Malik
on,
Benson.
but whatever. I had a UDFA on.
I had him as like a 5th rounder, so I was okay with Malik Benson getting picked there, 6th rounder.
Brandon Cleveland also was positive value, but a 7th round pick in the 7th round. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But man, those first 3 picks I absolutely love, and I don't know if there's
They
anybody I
smoked
missed.
him. Like I said, Benson's the only other one that I would throw in there, and I liked him
Oh,
too.
there's
So my
nobody
point
else
is-
I didn't type in?
No,
That's
no,
Pork
you're
Butt.
good.
Okay.
My point is, I liked pretty much everything that they did outside of Johnson. So good draft for them. Certainly going to get 10 for the division, even if they're not going to surpass Buffalo overall. Our boy Brad and his Chargers. Chargers had 5 picks in this round. It was Brennan Thompson, which was no. I'm sorry. I know you're fast. That's good for you, but no. Travis Burke from Memphis liked that pick because he's one of those sneaky tackles that we like. The
Developmental guys.
problem is the good and the bad is the Chargers have 2 really good tackles. Now, both of them couldn't stay healthy last year, so maybe he'll see the field anyways. It's good to have a backup plan, right?
Only thing I'd say real quick, though, is Brendan Thompson was barely a positive value for me.
No, he wasn't positive for me
But
at
the
all.
problem is when I go back and redo it, he was +4 for
was
me. So he
minus
went where he's
over
supposed
100
to
for
be.
me.
But the problem
fan.
is there were so many better players that
Oh, so
shouldn't
true.
have been available that were, which I need to factor in.
Look, if Brendan Thompson eats some cheeseburgers, maybe we'll start talking. That guy is so tiny. I'm concerned for him when he gets out there. Also in the 4th round, though, they did grab fourth round.
First round.
They grabbed Genesis Smith and then Nick Barrett and Logan Taylor. I don't mind Barrett. I just didn't want him to go that early. Logan Taylor, for where they got him at, thought there was value there. Genesis Smith, didn't mind that pick. But overall, it was a mixed bag for me when it came to the Chargers because the best pick they had was at one of the strongest positions on their roster if everybody's healthy, right? So that's a challenge.
Denver, they only had 3 picks as far as I'm aware of off the top of my head. Jonah Coleman.
Well, they actually had 6 picks.
Did they? They
had
had 3.
three right at
Oh,
the
because they had
end.
the 2 Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep, and we'll get to that in a
one
second.
was a baller
We'll
pick.
get to that in a second. Go ahead.
Baller.
You list the picks you know, and then I'll give you the last 3.
Well, I can give you the last one.
And, okay,
at the end,
I'll give
so
you
I'm
the
missing
2.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Jonah Coleman.
Love
Loved it. Absolutely. He was my
Mm-hmm.
RB2 in the class. You got him in the 4th round, right where he should have been. That's the grade I had on him.
Yep.
So it's fine. You did what you're supposed to do. Cage Casey. As long as they kick him inside,
Sure.
I don't mind that at all. In the
Didn't love
4th
it, but I'm
round, I had a
okay
5th
with it.
round grade on him,
Yeah.
but nothing too crazy.
Right.
Justin Jolly, I had a 4th round grade on him. They got him in the 5th, so that's a value.
He's the low key guy that could do that little Joker role people keep talking about with
Sure.
Peyton, so
And then the 2 that I can't recall off the top of my head are there. You'll fill
I'll
me
give
in
you
a minute.
Miles
but the
Scott,
last one,
Dallin Bentley. Miles Scott, safety from Illinois.
And they're
Dallin
both
Bentley,
whatever.
tight end, because of course
you
they had
like
a tight
Bentley
end.
more than I did.
Yeah, but I didn't even like him that much.
But Mr. Irrelevance, Red freaking Murdoch,
Very
who
relevant.
both of us had. Super high grades.
Well,
on.
so
Hold
207
on.
spots after.
I got all worked
No, I'm
up
okay
thinking
with
about that.
You can cough on this.
Super. I took a big breath and it backfired. Super high grades on him.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew we're higher than
Oh, yeah.
everybody else, but you know what? Don't care.
No. Look, he will not be irrelevant for
Best
long.
Mr. Irrelevant that I can remember.
And I have never met Red Murdoch, but I just feel like he's going to embrace that, have fun with it,
But
and own it and crush it in the camp.
it sounds crazy
Mm-hmm.
because Iowa. I always like Iowa.
Right.
Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, and I was like, yeah, I like that shot. I really do.
Sure.
But I didn't have the same conviction about feeling so confident that it was going to be a good player like I do
that's
with
different when
Murdoch.
he's a quarterback, though.
Well,
It's hard to
sure.
say quarterback at the end is going to
But
be
I
relevant.
liked him a decent amount.
No, look, Red Murdoch almost was the upgraded version of Ivan Pace for us a couple years ago
Yeah.
when Pace went undrafted. And mind you, Pace had size concerns, so fair. Murdoch doesn't have those. I do not understand how this man lasted this long. With some of the names we had to look up
They're
to
all
put
going to
on
learn.
our list.
All going to learn. Denver's
Exactly.
winning this one. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Well, I'm
Go.
going to throw
Who do you
Kansas
got?
City at you real quick, just so you know what they had, right? And this is where Cyrus Allen came in, the guy that I mistakenly put. Because he's a Cincinnati Bearcat, somehow my brain just put Cincinnati down for him for the school. But they took him in the 5th. They took Jalen Kennedy in the 4th, which is not bad.
No.
Emmett Johnson in the 5th. Actually good value for Emmett Johnson where they got him because people were talking about him in the 2nd round at times. Him going at 161 is a really nice get for them, especially when they want another guy in the backfield besides just who they picked up with the Super Bowl MVP. And then at 249, they grabbed our boy Nussy.
Oh, gosh.
Garrett Nussmeier.
We couldn't just leave him undrafted.
He went to one of the best situations you could possibly have
Yeah.
behind a guy who has zero questions about whether or not he's starting. So if Nussmeier
Still.
has to come in, it's going to be coming in to help, not because the team's bad and they need a lift. He is going to be such a good clipboard holder. He's going to now for his long-term life. Is there a much better spot for a guy to learn how to be a coach under Andy Reid? It is awesome for Nussmeier.
No,
I still don't like him as
He's
a quarterback.
set up for success, just
Yeah.
maybe not as a quarterback.
Exactly. Still don't like him as a quarterback. So as we go through all of the AFC, I guess it comes down to Vegas or Buffalo. I still think Buffalo had a better run.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Buffalo had a better run. So
Yep.
before we go to the NFC, we have got, and I saved this beer for the end of the night, the Fat Pug Oatmeal Stout. And this is from Maplewood in Normal, Illinois. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the state of Illinois outside of Chicago, basically if you go south and middle about a third of the way down Illinois into the fields, you get to Normal, Illinois. And that is where Maplewood Brewing is, and that is where the Fat Pug Oatmeal Stout is. And while this doesn't taste like a fat pug, it's a pretty solid oatmeal stout. No?
Are we drinking the same beer?
Are we? Do you not like it?
I don't get oatmeal and I don't get stout on this. I'm not saying it's a bad beer,
No,
but it
it's
tastes
a-
zero like what it says it is.
Well, it's a thinner like stout in the sense of like it's not a thick, creamy type vibe, and so maybe the oatmeal is a little bit thinner than what it should be. But I don't mind it. And also, the other reason why I picked this was because it went up against the Kitten Mittens, which was a porter. So maybe in my mind, I'm comparing porters instead of stouts.
Yeah, I don't
But I think that this is an easy drinking no stout, but it's a thinner one. I will say
I'm not
that.
a fan of this one.
Okay. That's part of the fun, dude. We're not a fan of some of the picks people made
Like
in this draft.
Dare I say,
Cheers.
like I'm thinking like a 2.
I mean, I'm not going to give this over a 3. It's fine, right? It's nothing crazy. And full disclosure for Maplewood, I don't want to dog Maplewood as a brewery. I don't remember where I got this or when. So this could have been one of those that was a
Okay.
leftover beer from
Fair.
a spot somewhere. So when we make our trip out to Toppling Goliath, we may have to make a detour through Normal,
super
Illinois.
thin, no oatmeal, no stout vibes. I don't know. It drinks even like a light, like malty porter. There's some sweetness in there. It almost has like a
There's an
mapley
interesting
vibe.
aftertaste, too. I'm
You
not
say
gonna-
that that's the distillery,
I
but
don't get maple.
there's some sort of sweet brown sugar, not
Maybe?
maple.
I don't think
Brown sugary.
I don't know. So all
don't
we're
know.
going to say, we drank a lot of beer
Not
this
my
weekend. And I'm glad that we stopped with the one with the dog on it, because you couldn't stop with the one with
Makes
the cat on
sense.
it. That would just be wrong.
Yep.
But we aren't stopping, right? We still have the whole NFC to go through,
We got to sample that thing.
and we got something to open up. So I'm going to let you crack that guy
Did
open.
you finish the beer already?
Well, I finished it.
pull down the hatch.
Jump up there, son.
All right.
You're the one complaining
Go ahead,
about not
start
liking
the
it too
NFC.
much.
Let's go.
Chiz.
Because that was in Simonix. I didn't like it all that much. I have quite a bit in there.
Well, you better. This is the guy who slams a beer when he doesn't like it.
That's what I did. It's gone now.
There you go. I didn't think it
yeah.
would take too long for you. Yeah, how you doing there, champ?
Not good.
Finish line came in a hurry for you. All right, we're going to
Yeah,
start
but-
off with Arizona when we're going to the NFC and seeing what picks they made today. It wasn't good. First off, they grabbed Caleb Proctor, not Caden
That's the rapper,
Proctor.
my bad.
Caleb Proctor. And again, real quick, when we get done with this, you can let everybody know what we're drinking. Carson Sherrar, the linebacker they grabbed in the 6th. They grabbed Reggie Virgil from Texas Tech in the 5th. Nice. And then Jaden Williams in the 6th. Dude, I didn't like any of these picks. Caleb Proctor was probably the one that I liked the best, and I still had him as an overdraft by at least a round in the 4th. And just overall, Arizona, they got positions of need. They need a linebacker. They desperately need help to their D-line. They probably need another wide receiver, and they needed a tackle. They took the wrong tackle from Ole Miss, dude. I joked about this when it happened.
Yeah.
Diego
would
Pounds
be
is
the guy.
there. They took Jaden
One of my
Williams instead.
guys.
I don't know if Pounds is hurt and we didn't know about it, or if he's just a jerk and we don't know about it.
Did
But
he even get drafted?
I don't think so. We'll look through the UDFA list.
That'd break me.
I know, right?
I mocked him to Detroit.
Whoops. Well, maybe Detroit picked him up. Real quick, before we jump to the next team, Old Forester. This was a single barrel, and for those of you who
Single
haven't-
barrel store pick, barrel proof.
if you've never had a store pick barrel proof, a store pick of any kind,
This smells sweet
Always
off
a
the
good
nose.
idea. Yeah.
Oh wow, it packs a. It's 130.7. Saddle up.
this one's going to be a warm one. And again, we're going from a
Dude, you
6%
smell
beer.
this like this candied cherry,
Yep.
like a
Yep.
white chocolate covered cherry, like
I
a
don't- I don't
vanilla
get the-
cherry.
I do get vanilla, but I don't get the white chocolate. Just kind of white
Well, I have a
chocolate
terrible
doesn't exist.
nose. I have a good palate.
No, but I
terrible
agree with
nose.
you. The cherry and the sweetness, which again, that's an old Forester thing to do. But yeah, dude, I get the cordial cherry vibe, pretty strong on this.
That is phenomenal for 130.7.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. It's hefty. Ooh, yeah,
Finish is so cherry. Mm-hmm. All the way through.
There's a lot of cherry in that one, and I'm not opposed to that. I'm pleased because I like cherry. But
Dude,
a
there's
lot.
so much cherry
Is
in
this-
that.
is this the
All I got
cherry?
is a vanilla oak cherry. 3 notes.
Is this
that's
old
it.
cherry Forester?
One and out. Like
I mean, so this is,
Maybe a chocolate.
Warehouse J Floor 3, and it's just hanging out. Not sure what's going on at Warehouse J Floor 3, but that is the cherry floor. So if any of you like cherry, Old Forester Single Bear, if you see a J
what
and a
would
3,
you guess the proof on that was?
I would say it's probably 120, not 130.
I was thinking like 115, so I'm not far off.
Somewhere in that ballpark. Point is, it is dangerously easy to drink for what it is. And again, reminder: any of you who like cherry in your whiskey,
This is,
if you find Warehouse J Floor 3, you're
This-
probably
this-
going to find a cherry bastard.
dare I say, this is just a bottle of Manhattan.
You know, you're not wrong. Not that I would make Manhattans with a single barrel like this.
No, it is a Manhattan. Just
But if
by
you were
itself,
going
don't
to,
add anything
right.
to it. Just pour that Manhattan. Don't even put
And for
cherry
those
in
of
it.
you who don't want things to be this strong, pour this and put an ice cube in it. Got a
Manhattan.
Manhattan. No, you're right, dude. It really does taste like this is the closest. I don't know if it's because our palate with other
don't
things
know.
or whatever. This is the closest I've ever had to basically what feels like a cocktail in a bottle.
Yeah. At
That's super weird.
130 proof.
Well, because you've had several Old Forester store picks, as I try to talk, right? You've had several of these, and again, we've talked about the store pick. People went and picked this barrel. So the guys from Fortino's and Capital City clearly like the cherry notes, right? But this is not a normal even.
That's
store
cherry
pick.
forward.
Right.
And throughout.
And we'll have to try this again because we got through the neck pour and a little bit.
Fair point.
And so I'll be very curious to see if the cherry stays that strong. We'll keep rolling with that as we go. Well, we were supposed to do that at the end.
I got derailed.
We got derailed hard.
Here we are. I'll get us on track. San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're only talking about day 3, but I'm just going to do this.
They had a couple good picks.
It's not me dogging. Maybe it's me being hypercritical because I
Okay.
actually have a soft spot growing up a diehard Jerry Rice fan.
Right.
I'm here to tell you their whole draft from top to bottom might be the worst.
They
in
had
the entire,
two good picks.
Might be the worst since we've done the show.
But that's
But
harsh.
no, it's not. That's how I feel.
They had one of your boys.
They do, and I was gonna say, so
That's the redeeming quality.
only thing that I like is I absolutely love the Grayson Halton pick.
Sure. Real quick rip
Love
through 'em.
it. And then you got Carver Willis, Jaden Duggar, both UDFAs. Ephesians Prysock.
Great
awesome name.
Overreach.
Still reach. Enrique Cruz.
Love it.
Nope.
Love it.
Not as big of a reach as the rest, but still a little bit of a reach, but also not necessarily fair to really talk about reaches on day 3, but I'm just saying. And I didn't do those in the right order, but
I look forward to 2 years from now when we are a big enough deal that we get players on our show, and I can be like, hey, Enrique, you know how you're starting for the Niners right now? This guy didn't like you.
hey, I'd happily be the first one to admit that I'm wrong.
No, you'll have fun with that. But again, Halton, Cruz, I was okay with Duggar. Everything else, no. I like Prysock, but not with
their whole draft class. Halton.
Dude, how many times did we look at when San Francisco was on the clock and they make a pick and we look at each other and be like, what did they just do? Mm-hmm. And we said that so many times. It's just difficult.
I'm not gonna. You know,
you
what?
asked whether or not
I'm not gonna talk about the first 2 days.
No, but you asked whether or not John Lynch was under the influence.
He might have had one of these.
He could have had some cherry.
And he said, "This tastes great. I'm gonna finish it."
Right. Seattle had a slightly better run, but not much. Largely buoyed by the guy they got in the 5th round. They had the 5th, a 6th, and 3 7ths. So they took Bo Stevens in the 5th, which slam dunk. Obviously, your favorite pick that they had. They took
beat San Fran. I'm just gonna do that as we go.
Right. They took Emmanuel Henderson from Kansas in the 6th round. Wasn't really a big fan of that. It was meh to me. And then in the 7th round, they had 3 picks. I think all of them probably didn't make your list. Maybe one did. Andre Fuller, and then Devin Eastern and Michael Dansby from Arizona, because apparently every Arizona corner had a deal to get drafted this year, which is good for them.
It's crazy. But Arizona corners and tight ends, man,
right.
You got picked.
Exactly. So of all of those 5 picks, Bo Stevens, far and away the best one. I was okay with Eastern where he got picked. Some people were putting him in the 5th round. Him in the 7th, I was okay with. But Bo Stevens should be a starting guard for them when the season opens.
When it opens?
Well, okay, maybe today as well. I'm just saying, like he's.
You gotta remember, we like
backup
these.
Right
we like some of these folks more than
I expect Bo Stevens to bump Anthony Bradford out of the starting lineup.
Eventually I do.
I expect him to do it right away. I am not a huge fan of it. I think Anthony Bradford is the weak link on that Seattle line. I say that as someone who would get absolutely squished by Anthony Bradford. So please, sir, don't hurt me. But
I agree.
That's where they're at. All right.
Hey, will
Rams.
you flip to the Rams? I only got 2 picks for them. What did I miss some at the end?
Nope.
Okay, quick take. CJ Daniels, overdraft by 60. A lot of people love the guy. I don't mind the guy.
I liked that one.
It is what it is. Had UDFA on him, man. Mm-hmm. Probably because he hasn't done a ton, and he's a 24-year-old wide receiver.
That's not.
It is what it is. And then team. I made Tim and Keenan. Like
one name.
Yep, team. The third. I don't know. I actually had a 7th round grade on him. They took him in the 7th round. They did what they're supposed to do. So that's.
I had a 6th round grade on him, so him getting picked there was actually good value for them. But again, how did they only have 2 picks on? I mean,
wow, we'll get into that on the final grades.
They are the host city of F those picks.
They're not gonna win this division.
No.
Neither is San Fran. So your teams both win.
Well, the problem, and again, we talk about both of them, right? So I think that everybody is looking up at Seattle, which is the case for them ad nauseum. But still,
we haven't even talked about Arizona. It's got to be better than.
Well, no, we did talk about Arizona. Remember, they had Caleb Proctor and a bunch of whatever.
They got another. Yeah.
My point: Arizona was right before we got derailed by the Cherries. So
Yep.
Do you want to start with Dallas or the Giants?
The Giants.
Okay.
Duh.
The G-Men.
Gotta go with one of your favorite
We're going to do some circular stuff here, by the way.
Hey,
a couple years ago.
It's only 3, right?
There's only 3. A couple years ago, I accidentally kept jumping on the Giants takes, forgetting they weren't my team because we were just getting used to splitting teams up. And then I was good for a while. And now I feel like freaking Sonny Corleone and The Godfather. When I think I'm out, they pulled me back in. They have so many players that I'm such a fan of.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
You ever heard of a thing called fate?
I will not have that.
Fate and gravity and a few
I
other things.
I will not have my fate
together.
wrapped into Eli Manning.
It's pulling you to the Giants, and I'm not even going to lie. There's such a force of pull.
Would you rather
that it's almost even pulling me in?
Well, would you rather be pulled to the Giants or the Jets as a team?
Giants
Right,
by a
so at least we're
long
okay
shot.
with that.
But all I'm saying is as much fun
I'm
as
not
it
happy
was
about it.
to see you naturally, subliminally, like take ownership of a
Inadvertently,
team
you
that wasn't
loved
yours
that.
that you say
My
you don't
goodness, you loved that.
like. I had so much fun, like poking fun at it because I'm not a big Giants guy either. But you cannot deny that both of us kind of like talking about the Giants now. Not because of this round or day.
It was just in general, the guys they've got.
But it is what it is.
Well,
It's just the
look.
3 picks. You like all of this better than I do.
I like 2 of them.
I like none of them, even though 2 of them actually came at values.
Right.
But
They had
I'll
3
just say this.
6s, and that's it.
I had Bobby Jamison Travis as a UDFA.
Didn't really like that
J.C. Davis, I had a 5th round. They got it.
Loved it.
They got him in the 6th. I had
Loved
Jack
it.
Kelly, 5th round. They got him in the 6th.
Sure. Like
so
that.
they got some values.
Right.
Not huge on any.
Well, the thing with me though,
picks, but-
they didn't need Jack Kelly. Like it's nice to have
No,
him.
but you're
They
in
already
the
grabbed the
6th
linebacker.
round.
But yeah,
You're just doing
and
what you're
JC Davis could look. JC Davis could push Illuminor. I'm just putting it out there. Well, largely because we both don't think
Dan's
he's that
talking
great.
about the Giants.
Yeah, but no, look, we both
We're
don't
back.
think he's that great.
Hey.
Stop.
Audience, we're back.
We've never left, man.
Dan is just on the.
We never left. We don't
Big-
leave the nation's
big
capital
blue.
either. I'm
All
going
right.
to move on to Washington now,
Okay.
who had 4 picks.
Are you sad about it?
Yes.
No, moving on.
Because
Can I talk about
Washington doesn't have a great draft. So Washington in the 5th round took Joshua Josephs, who I've always kind of been meh about. Other people really liked him. It was good value.
you and
for
me
they got
both.
him. It was good value.
I
for
like
they got
the
him.
developmental
He's a 5th rounder.
potential to be like a rotational piece. I
Sure.
don't see him much more than that.
They needed more. Like in general, Washington. One of the biggest things that I had, and we'll get into deeper takes on them when we do the shows to recap. But I feel like they needed more on the edge, and the only guy that they got that's even close to sniffing the edge is Joshua Josephs, which is just not what I think they need to do. But regardless, value where he's at, not bad. And then in the 6th, they got both Matt Golbin, who was a center. We weren't sure if he was going to get drafted or not. And then Katron Allen in the 6th. That's great value for me. I think he is going to step in and help out that backfield. Maybe he's not going to replace Bill and the other guys they've got, but he's going to be contributing. And then they got Athan Kelly McManus, who, sure, he's fun, but he's
Who
a
destroyed my freaking spreadsheet?
it was so.
I don't
good when that
know
happened.
what in the heck. I
It
was trying to
broke you.
trying to update it for when they took him, and somehow I deleted the line, and then
That
I
was
clicked
like a half
undo
an
and it
hour.
started undoing other things,
Oh,
and then I
man.
tried to go back through the version history
I loved
and
that.
restore it, and then there was
Yep.
none of it. It was
Layers
it was
of
a
layers.
thing.
It was hilarious.
He
I
broke
loved
my
that.
spreadsheet.
Which might be the only thing we
I'm
ever
convinced
say.
Dan was in my spreadsheet. That's what it
Potentially.
was.
But this might be the only thing we ever say about I think Kelly McManus, because he is.
Right.
If he
Killed
plays,
it. He killed it.
if he plays for Washington in the next couple of years, it's because of things have gone wrong. I'm sorry. He's a gamer. He's inaccurate, and he's not athletic enough to replace Jaden Daniels. He just isn't. He's a fun guy that you might talk yourself into enjoying if he has to do one start, but you don't want more than that because you're going to find out pretty quickly that is not the kind of player you want to have.
Okay, Cowboys. Here we are. I only have 4. Is that correct?
That is.
Okay. All right. The first pick they made in the 4th round, Drew Shelton.
Not bad.
I liked it. It's even value. It
Look,
was
all
plus
four of
11.
these, all 4 of these were overdressed by at least a round for me.
See, Shelton was not. It was
no,
a
I
plus
like Shelton the
11.
best.
But here's the funny thing. Here, I guess I'll talk about him a little bit. Devin Moore. I instantly went, and so did Brad.
Yeah.
So did Brad. We both instantly went, ooh, I like that shot. And I was like, yeah, that's a good one. And then I went to my spreadsheet and typed it in, and I went, it's a negative 54.
It's negative 114 for me.
But so I don't know. I mean, I don't. Why was I excited about
He's
the
a big
potential?
corner. He is 6'3" and a quarter. He's
My
200 pounds.
board doesn't tell me I'm excited about it at all.
He's a big corner.
It
And
felt exciting in the moment,
Dallas got a big corner. Now they have another big corner to go with the big corner they just picked up. So
but I was not excited about the last 2. LT Overton, always been
Some
a
people were very
UDFA for
excited
me.
about him.
Anthony Smith, always been a UDFA for me.
well, the thing is, Anthony Smith was
So.
7th round, so whatever. But a 4th rounder that's a UDFA for you is a problem.
Yes, big problem.
And the biggest issue with LT Overton, we're not going to get into too many details, where does he play? And I mean that because he's a tweener that no one has decided,
I
including
feel like
himself.
he needs to put on weight and kick on the inside.
Exactly. I think
He's
it'd be
not
a very good
twitchy
choice
enough
for
to
him.
be on the
I think
outside.
it'd be a very good choice for him. We're flipping from one team that didn't seem quite like they knew what they wanted to do to a team that always knows what they want to do. Philadelphia Eagles. When you look at their draft, again, they didn't have any fourths. So
I'm
they had fifth,
so
sixth,
mad about the Eagles.
3 7s. Let me rip through them real quick before
No.
you get too salty. In the fifth, they
Sit,
took
Bourbon.
Cole Payton, who is basically white Jalen Hurts. It's kind of a joke, but also not at the same time. It's pretty accurate. And then in the sixth, they took Micah Morris, your boy, and that was a huge value. And then in the seventh, they took Keyshawn James Newby, one of my guys, at the end. They took Uar Bernard, our boy. I'm going to claim that as our. At 251, and Cole Wisniewski was sure there as a safety. Was there, and then they also
Cherry.
so
Sorry.
much right in the old Forester. But the other thing too, and I'm going to pull this up on my phone real quick because I don't have it sitting right in front of me. But when you look at the UDFA setup, as my phone just betrays me horribly in the moment that I need it most. But when you look at the UDFA setup, as I remember looking through what we were looking through, the Eagles also got Joshua Weru, who is the other guy from the international pathway. So they grabbed a guy from Nigeria, a guy from Kenya, both of them athletic freaks on the defensive line, and they got him with almost no investment. So very little, invested in what they're trying to do from a cost standpoint.
Dan,
The Eagles killed it.
can I save you all the oxygen and breath and words that you got? On day 3, they drafted a guy who the analytics spit out saying is Myles Garrett plus 30 pounds.
That's insane to think about.
Obviously, the odds of him becoming anything close to Myles Garrett are nearly impossible.
Just because.
But day 3 is about taking shots, and you're telling me the
In
Eagles
7th round.
get the on paper
Yep.
Myles Garrett plus 30 pounds?
7th rounder. Because you and I would have, you joked, you had Uar Bernard at 101. You had him as 4th round.
Yes.
Like, take your shot.
Well, I drafted him. I always do my mock,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll share it later. But I mocked him to Detroit in the 6th round.
Right. Point is,
Why not? Because I was willing to take that shot in the
Yeah.
6th round.
the dude is so athletic. And again, we don't usually pull off traits, but there's a difference between a guy who's a workout warrior that's been playing college football for 3 years and a guy who saw a college football about 5 minutes ago and shows that athletic profile, right? So, at least for a guy who isn't a Philly fan, you got to be a fan of the draft.
100%.
They got the best in
It
that
is-
division.
Yep.
Not hard.
South, Tampa, man, they did very. I'm not remembering everything off the top of my head. We'll get into
No,
it
they
here
did well.
shortly. But I feel like Tampa might win this division. Keontae Scott, I dogged him, moved him all the way down to the 4th round because it's going to be a 25-year-old corner when the season kicks off. Not what you want. Right?
No, but if you're trying to
But
win
at pick
now,
116, when you're a team that's contending for the playoffs, on day 3, I'm super in on this. Okay? Capehart, I personally think I even had him a little bit too low. But guess what? He was still a plus 23. So there's 2 A picks. Billy Schruth, that was like an S pick plus triple digits.
those
Yeah,
are
I
three.
loved all 3 of those. Bauer, Sharp, everybody
I like
drafted a
Bauer
tight
Sharp.
end. I didn't. I had him as a UDFA, but
In
whatever.
the 6th round, I love Bauer Sharp.
Were there any picks after that?
No, that's it.
Okay.
They had 3 A pluses and a B with how I currently have it right now, and B was the Bauer Sharp because I'm fine with him. Like I said, as late
I don't-
round tight end flyers go, I liked Sharp coming out of the
I don't know who
the
beat
combine.
him in this division.
Well, let's take a look at Atlanta, see if they do. No, they didn't. The only pick,
that's short-lived.
right? So the Atlanta did Kendall Daniels, who's a linebacker from Oklahoma that I don't even remember if I knew that well. And then in the 6th round, they did Harold Perkins Jr., Ontario Thompson, and Ethan Onyanwa in the 7th. Onyanwa wasn't bad as a guard in the 7th round. He certainly has potential to play there. And I like Harold Perkins, even though he's
gosh.
2 years removed from injuries. But Harold Perkins in the 6th
I like
round
Harold
is
Perkins
worth a
too,
shot.
but it just keeps not coming to fruition.
No,
And
no.
He is.
What did I say when they
Harold
picked him?
Perkins is your version of like Jaden Roberts for me.
Maybe.
Just can't quit it.
Right, but that's the point. What did I say when they picked him? It's like, oh, look at that. Atlanta grabbed another guy who's undersized trying to be an edge rusher or whatever, right? Because he is a smaller guy trying to play that hybrid linebacker edge rusher thing. But again, in the 6th round, shoot your shot on a guy that 2 years ago people were talking about as potential first rounder before the injuries and the recovery and et cetera. So not anywhere near what Tampa did, but at least they have a bright spot to talk about.
Well, Carolina's not winning it. I absolutely love Sam Heck at 144.
Sure, that was great.
Love it. That's like an S pick. That's like, they got him like 2 rounds past where I thought he should go. Then it comes right off a cliff right there. Zakee Wheatley, some people love him. Had a UDFA. Jackson Kuwach.
Sure.
He's one of the 5 that I had to add.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
Obviously, I had him too.
And Will Lee the third, another guy that I
was all right with him.
All right. I had him as a 7th round grade. They got him in the 4th.
I
know rough. I'm not doing any of these in order, but
I had him whatever. like as a late 5th, early 6th. So Sam Hecht was awesome. Wheatley was good, but not great.
Not being
Hecht has potential to be their center, if not this year, next year. Right? So that's good for them. But the rest of it, so yeah, obviously not going to catch Tampa. And Atlanta, they're dogfighting it out right now for second place. New Orleans, though, it gets worse. New Orleans had one pick that I like. All right, in the 4th, Jeremiah Wright. I like the idea of him. I liked him as a 7th rounder and a 4th rounder. Bryce Lance was the only pick I liked. Right, they grabbed him in the 4th. He will be a fun piece for them to move around, but he also is going to get AARP in about 2 months. Right, he's already 25, almost 25, right? So that's the only not downside to him. Barry and Brown, I don't even know what they were doing there. TJ Hall, fun, but no. Lorenzo Styles Jr., sure, he's fast. There you go. The only team, you know how we're doing 2 up, 2 down? I think it's 1 up, 3 down in this division.
Oh, yeah, I even forgot we're even doing I just started shifting towards who's winning, but I think Tampa won that one, right?
Definitely won that division. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
North.
We kind of ripped through them, but yeah, here we are. We are in the North, and so why don't you shut off of Minnesota?
Minnesota, okay. The 4 picks, yeah? Unless there's something that I missed when I was...
4 picks.
Okay.
Good work.
Go blue.
Right.
Hail to the victors. Max Bredesen, fullback, baby.
Hey, chess piece. Move them all around your offense.
Love it.
Tight end, fullback, running back, whatever you need to do.
Only problem was he went 42 spots higher than I thought. Well, I love the guy, and
it was a bit of a reach.
Yeah,
not as much of a reach as the guy from the 7th round, though. We'll get to him in a second.
Yeah, well, fair. So there's that. But Charles Demings,
I like him.
Small school guy that everybody was interested in, and they got him basically a full round ahead. I had him plus 31. Totally on board with that one. Yep. Damon Claiborne, absolutely love this.
Thievery.
Just know that he's just a change of pace guy
right.
and
but
nothing
they have,
more.
Look, they've got now 3, if you count Bredesen. They have 2 or 3 guys who can carry the load for them, and then you can just have Claiborne go out of the backfield and make stuff happen.
And then they also got one of my 5 guys that I had to add to my spreadsheet, and Gavin Gerhardt.
Gerhardt caused you trouble, too.
He caused me some trouble as well, but I got him on here. Again, UDFA, who I didn't have on here, but love Bredesen. It was a reach, despite me loving him. So really, we're just talking about Claiborne was a killer pick.
It was great.
Demings is very solid.
But yeah, not a great start for the division. It doesn't get a whole lot better in Chicago. They only had 3 picks.
A little bit of foreshadowing real quick on Minnesota. Day 3 might have been the best.
Oh, yeah, Minnesota had a rough draft. We're going to talk about them later on. So Chicago had one of the guys I had to add. I had to add Jordan Vandenberg.
I'm so mad. No, you're not talking about Chicago. I'm talking about Chicago, okay?
Okay. Talk about the 2 guys I didn't mention.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just talking about the one.
The one?
Wait, I only have 3 picks.
Yeah, I like Keyshawn Elliott, too, though.
Oh, I don't care about him.
Right.
Go
ahead and talk about the one guy you were mad about in the 4th round.
So livid about Malik Muhammad here. So they made me mad with Thieneman. Then they went on a tear, like totally redeeming themselves and making some bad picks for me. And then they turn around and just slap me right in the face and got Malik Muhammad at damn near a 2-round value.
Oh, man.
S pick. Take it from there. I'm done.
Well, again, Muhammad should basically slot into wherever they want to put him. Look, that defensive backfield, which lost both safeties and kind of had some. They have good corners, but corners you might be wondering about. a little bit.
Skyler texted me after that pick because he knew Skyler's lives in Chicago, loves him too.
South Carolina now. Let's call it
now. Yeah, Google ever
from
since
Chicago.
I knew. Yeah, recently South Carolina. Always was Chicago.
Never leaves you where you come from when it comes to a team.
Well, and we go back to Chicago as does he every year for our fantasy football drafts. Me and all the Chicago boys.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
what do we do? But he texts me. He goes, dude, wasn't Malik was one of your guys, wasn't he? Dude, and I didn't reply.
No, because you were
And
salty.
he goes, he's like, dude, are you still? He's like, you didn't sleep it off. You're still pissed from yesterday. I was like, I didn't even sleep, Skylar. He's like, what did you do? He's like, what'd you do? I was like, I stayed up, stared at the stars, just pissed all
fuming.
night long. Didn't sleep, and now you get Malik Muhammad.
Oh man, yeah. And again,
And he
like,
just sent me so many gifts after that about salty,
Love
all
it.
the little spring, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sprinkling
I'm just
down.
like,
Oh, man. And I'm so glad.
I'm gonna drive to South Carolina and wet willy you,
yeah, right.
100%.
That's legit. And again,
Sorry,
I
went
Muhammad
off
as
on a
well.
tangent
No,
there,
I
my
liked
bad.
Muhammad as well, especially given some of the
Well, bet
questionable
you
picks
did.
they had. I didn't mind Keyshawn either. I know you didn't like him.
Nah.
I don't mind him either. Chicago definitely ahead of Minnesota when it comes to the draft so far. What did the poops do in your mind?
I gotta get there.
I only had 3
I
picks
was
for Green Bay as
being
well.
salty. I only have 3 picks for Green Bay. It's
One really good one. You just saw it again and reminded yourself, didn't you?
forgot about
You
it.
forgot.
Purged it from my own brain.
Oh man.
Purged it from my own
How
brain.
big of a jump was he? He was 73 on the value for me. Plus 73. Where was he plus like 100 for you?
Robert Porsche,
Ooh. A 91.
Kevin Green.
That's it?
Pick
Just
one.
91? I thought it'd be higher than that.
Pick one. Sergey Fedorov.
Deny Dennis Sutton
Yep.
in the 4th, who you had Detroit taking at 50 and thought was going to be gone before then.
No, I did not. I gave
Well, you
Yakis.
wanted them to take him at 50.
No, I wanted
no,
Yakis.
No, talking about as far as in some of the mocks we've had.
Oh
we
yeah,
thought
100%.
Axis was going to be gone.
Because I thought Akis was going to go in the first round.
Right.
Yeah, Dan. They got him. How do you feel about it?
I hope.
Fellow Packer
I
hitter.
really hope this is the
Packer
most
Nation.
Long,
You know
longest.
what? I run my mouth, and that you
do.
should love it because again, it's the rivalry.
Exactly.
It's what makes it fun. But I just
This
want
is
to
all
say,
in love.
good.
Man.
Put an E on the episode. It's a good fucking pick.
I'm sorry. That's so good.
Congrats.
All right. Here's the thing. I'm not going to get into the whole draft, but man, they took 2 guys you really liked in this draft overall, didn't they?
Oh, I'm only looking at day 3.
Yeah, no, you
but
hated day 2. You hated day 2.
Hated it.
Yeah. So
I
when
hated
you
it.
point is when
If I
JP
hate it,
exactly.
clap again.
Yep.
I'm not doing it again for you.
I am
Congrats.
frustrated. This is better than Minnesota.
Yes.
Okay. So the only hope is that maybe Detroit can do better when it comes to day 3. So let's look at the Lions as we wrap this thing up as our instant takes, if you will, the night of. What did you think of the Detroit Lions picks on day 3? They had 5. They went Keith Abney. Or sorry, I'm going to do it in order. They did Jeremy Rolder. They did Keith Abney the second. Kendrick Law was in there too. Skylar Gill Howard, Tyree West. I liked 2 of these 5 picks.
I liked 1. Okay with another. Did not like the other 3. So I'll get it out of the way. I absolutely love the Keith Abney
Oh yeah,
pick.
love it.
Love that pick.
Could
well,
easily
that's
start.
not even necessarily the one that I would have made in that moment. It's kind of like Derek Moore. It's like, I want Akis. You took Derek Moore. Okay.
Right.
I want, boom. You take, okay.
Yeah.
Totally good with that.
Abney feels like he'll be able to play pretty quickly for them, and at least give him some depth at the corner / the nickel / dime type piece. He
Right.
should come in and help pretty quick.
Rolder was the guy that I had just kind of like not a round attached to him, but like an asterisk because like I need to go back and figure out why everybody's so high on him
Yeah, they're
because there's
talking
only
him
the
as-
one
yeah.
season of tape. And
Right, replacement
I started
as
to get
a-
into it, and I was
yeah.
like, okay, I don't mind him as a late day
Seems like
3
a
guy.
gamer.
Then he goes early day 3
Right.
guy.
That's the problem I had. He
Yep.
went too early. If he would have been a 6th round instead of a 4th round, would have been fine with that. It is
Yep.
what it is. I
And
liked Skylar Gill Howard. I've
When
talked about him.
when we do our final grades, I'll share all my Detroit because that's when your team specific, your
we're
longer
gonna get into it a
episodes.
little
We only
more,
do
yeah.
like an episode per division.
Sure.
I'll let you know what I wanted for. Well,
for all those picks, yeah.
I'm a Detroit
But
guy.
Skylar Gill Howard, I liked that
You
pick
liked him. Well, wait. You liked him
a lot.
a lot. I didn't care for him a ton. But guess
'Cause you're
what?
wrong.
No, not wrong per se. Where they got him
He loved
was
that.
still a plus 37 for
He
me.
was a plus 129 for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was okay with him. You
I was
loved the guy. So
ecstatic.
you talk about him.
Right. But this is my point. This is a guy who, yes, he was injured for part of the season, but what he showed at Northern Illinois and then what he showed for a little bit at Texas Tech showed me this is he's an undersized penetrating D tackle. Okay,
Are
so
you?
I got a little tiny
Dude.
bit left. I got a little tiny bit left. I want to wrap up the show.
Dude, it's like a cherry cordial.
Let's
Just-
wrap. Let me
I
finish with the
can't.
Lions
I get
first.
excited when I say
Lions
that.
first, then Mr. Forrester. All right, but to wrap it up with him, if you are a Lions fan and you are hoping for more pass rush from the inside, Skylar Gill-Howard is going to influence that on the inside. He's not the starter, right? He is part of the rotation. He's going to be a big impact
I hope
for them.
you're right.
And I like him way better than Tyree West.
Yes,
So at least we can agree on that.
we do.
All right, let's wrap this up with a little old Forester and a
have
whole
one
lot of
soda.
cherry. Go ahead. What were you
Dude,
saying?
it's a cherry freaking
Oh, my goodness.
cordial now. Like, but hey, wait. It feels like there's a little it's getting a little more proofy, so it's a little more peppery, but it's still so cherry,
Yeah,
so cherry.
right.
Do you get a little bit of the peppery vibe?
I do. I kind of get that towards the like mid piece. Like you get the cherry, then it kind of gets into your
Cherry
mouth.
pepper, cherry, bam, slap in
Yep.
the face.
And I like cherry. I like pepper too. So whenever you get a single barrel, when you're going to store a pick, it's always a bit of an anomaly. Is this going to be something I like? Is this something I don't like? Whatever.
I like that one.
This one's a good one. So I appreciate you picking that up for me, sir, while you're in the midst of getting all the other stuff you were getting to make all that work. Final thoughts of 3 days in Brad's garage. We're going to get into all the UDFAs and guys who got signed up from what teams. We'll talk about that later on, so we'll get to that.
My final thought was this: Brad was showing us a lot of like memes or gifs or jokes or whatever the hell they
Sure.
are. I don't.
What the kids are into
I
these
don't
days.
get into it. But it did very much feel more so this year than any other year, where it was almost just take whoever. Like, I'm gonna have a hard time like grading harshly on day
Sure.
3, because I think he in the moment, like everybody talked about it being a down draft ish, right? But it very much felt like midway through round 5, it was just like,
Sure, take a guy.
okay.
Right.
Like, I'm going to have a hard time being critical of any pick in the 6th or 7th round.
Sure. Well, I'm gonna have to literally look at numbers to
Yeah,
help out.
it's going to take a minute.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Is like, so this is what I'm curious about going forward is until they fix or figure out. When I say fix, but figure out the NIL situation. I feel like this is going to be more common, where because guys who normally get drafted,
it should sort itself out eventually, though.
Hypothetically.
It's just you'll have older guys.
well, right? Hypothetically, that's the plan. But if there's guys who would normally come out after their 4th year, but they know that 5th year is going to be a mil plus,
Correct.
and they're going to get half that. In his
But you
first
can
year
only
in the
stay for
NFL.
so long. So it's like
Right.
COVID. You're going to run out of eligibility.
But that's where it
in
gets
COVID,
interesting.
and then it's going to level
Like, if-
out eventually.
Right. Ideally, our incredibly dysfunctional Congress will figure something out. But I'm not
Jeez,
holding my
it
head.
drives me nuts.
I'm not holding
that
my
they
breath
even
on
get
that.
involved in this, but okay.
Well, and
Let's
it's only
not get
because
into that.
it's only because states have to figure stuff out, and so you have guys like Chambliss who do get an extra day, and then Joey Aguilar or extra year, and Joey Aguilar who don't
more
get an
day?
extra
Like,
year.
okay.
Right? Aguilar doesn't get an extra year, has to be UDFA. So it's not right, wrong, or otherwise. It's just the landscape we're in is so bonkers, which is great
Crazy.
for us. The material just writes itself. But for all of these kids, for the health of the game, for the NFL going forward, who does not need any help, but still, it'll be good if we can get to a point where all of this makes sense and we all understand what the rules are.
One quick thing. No way we're going to go through and recap this and figure out the correct answer, but off the top of your head, Buffalo kind of won day 3.
Man,
Yeah?
they did.
They
Buffalo and
may
Philly,
not have. I don't know, but
It's ironic that we talk about like teams who are positioned wherever they're at. Buffalo and Philly, I think I did 2 best days,
Probably.
which is humorous because those are almost always like our picks for the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
I'm done. It's so stupid.
And we're still hoping that the Lions will figure something out. Hey, look, that's the draft. That is us tapping out at 1 a.m. on Sunday morning of draft weekend. It has been a pleasure, sir. I know you have
I'm
any
out.
left in your cup.
I
Don't
might get
care.
a little tiny.
Still toasting you.
little nip.
As we wrap up, we will catch up as we get some time to figure this out. We'll get back to you with a little deeper take on all this stuff next time with Draft Crack.